it was clear to me that if I wanted to expedite the timeline to get to a very successful practice, we needed to invest right from the beginning. One of the big takeaways from all the coaching and consulting that I've worked with folks in the past has been get a good marketing team and don't sit around and wait. Coming from nothing, we've never not hit our new patient goals, like from day one.
Well, hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with Dr. Murphy. This is really kind of cool for us to be here together, Doc, because I remember 3 years ago us sitting together at a table at an event and you getting ready to scratch start your practice, right? And you were having discussions, how am I going to do this? Am I going to be volume? Am I going to be more boutique and really just lean into that patient experience and quality care? And like, I didn't chime in at all, but you knew the answer and you knew that you wanted to create a special place that was different from the average practice. So before we talk about the marketing and everything else, I mean, how you feeling 3 years in?
Yeah, things have been great. We're really close to that 3-year mark in another couple months, and every it seems every decision we were talking about then has just been beneficial tenfold. It's been really good, and to see the success in the numbers, but also the quality of life that comes from it, the type of dentistry, the what I can do for my family with all of it it's been wonderful.
Well, it's no surprise, I have to say that just knowing you and the fact that you, number one, invest in your clinical skills and your personal development, but you're also very smart in the fact that you knew that you can't wait for the practice to get busy to invest in marketing. You knew kind of from day one that was important to do if you wanted to build it the right way. So, why was that so important to you, and how was your mindset to understand that you had to invest in this versus thinking of it as, oh, I have to spend money on this?
Yeah, no, you're right, Lee. I was thinking, last night, like if I had to go back and tell, maybe not 3 years ago me, because I didn't just graduate from school then, but earlier me, like what would be the two most beneficial things to do, and you just remind me of a third, which is invest in yourself, the clinical skills with that advancing way beyond dental school. And the two I was really thinking about last night were the coaching consulting side of things and the marketing. And one of the big takeaways from all the coaching and consulting that I've worked with folks in the past has been like get a good marketing team and don't sit around and wait for it, because you can struggle and you can do things the hard way. But I wanted to just not create things myself, but copy what other people were doing really well and have the same successes as them. So it was clear to me that if I wanted to expedite the timeline to get to a very successful practice, we needed to invest right from the beginning.
So well said. Because as dentists, right, we're like little engineers, right? And we think that if we just do an amazing job, which we're dedicated to do, which you just talked about, investing in yourself and your skills, that the whole world's going to just automatically know about it. But we have to show them. We have to tell them. There has to be a story. The reality is nobody's just walking into practices anymore. They're going to visit you online. They're going to look at your online presence. So the fact that you knew from the beginning is just another reason you're so successful. So it's awesome to see. But then the other question is, there's so many options out there. You and I both know this from running a practice. You can get the $999 bundle and get the cookie cutter web page and just like everything looks the same post sort of thing. And it's out there. It's better than doing nothing. But when you want to be at that next level and you want to get there faster, how did you kind of view some of the doc in the box type stuff versus like, hey, let's be unique here. Let's be special.
Sure. Yeah, no, when we first started, um, of course I knew of MDA from working with my dad for a while previously. Had great experiences with them. So in my mind, I knew this is a relationship I'm going to get into for the long haul. It's a significant investment starting from scratch. I don't know, like, can I justify it on day one? Or is that like a year one, year two? I didn't know when. So I actually started out exclusively with somebody else and worked with them for, I think it was like 2 months, 2 or 3 months. And like you said, it was better than nothing. And I was learning all the other things. My very first practice, plus first scratch practice. Um, Drinking from a fire hose is an understatement. And after those couple months, it was very clear that they weren't, not to put them down. It just that wasn't their specialty. They were very much so put you in a box and just do the same thing for everybody. And I was looking for more of a personalized, customized, interaction where we could have, calls like this. We'd get on the phone on Zoom, definitely more than once a quarter, but now once a quarter moving forward, and emailing almost daily in between. They're there, and I didn't get that from somebody else. I've had other ideas throughout these last few years of, hey, I've, gone through this large surgical course. I want to actually do this stuff. I want to advertise to people that I know how to do it, that I'm good at doing these things. Like you said, not just be an engineer behind the scenes. And they have had great ideas throughout the this time together of being creative. And, well, we've done something similar with somebody else, or we've never done this before. Give us a few days, we'll think about it and get back to you on how we can roll with your new ideas. So very, very customized in their approach to what I want to do as we continually evolve every month. In these early stages, things change a lot, and they've rolled with those punches really well.
Boy, I feel like you nailed it with the word evolve. They obviously have a very specific skill set, which we all need, but their ability to dial in as we continue to work together on who you are, who your practice is becoming, and always asking that questions and staying out in front. And I feel like I had the same experience and have the same experience with them. Um, and that's what feels different to me. Is there anything else you can think of, over these past few years and time together that you're like, man, they did this for me, or this came up, or was their idea, that you just don't see maybe from the traditional dental marketing team?
I guess I'm fortunate that I don't know a ton about the traditional marketing aspect of it. I've heard the woes of it from other friends and colleagues. I think that kind of the big things that seem to stand out to me is my friends don't necessarily have different specific quantifiable markers of their success. To be able to say the phone rang this many more times and it's this percentage this year versus last year, or this quarter versus Q1, Q2, however we're looking at it. And then you scheduled from those calls, same thing, this percentage, this number. It's, nice that it's only 5%, but actually 5% translates to how many more calls and how many more dollars from those calls. So to be able to really look at those stats makes me feel like, okay, it isn't just a lofty, yeah, we're doing great, keep it up, it's working. Well, yeah, but like, working compared to what? I don't care about the other practices. I care about my practice, and are we doing better than we did last year? And also the type of patients that we're able to attract has been huge. I had a good sense of what kind of patient I wanted in the practice, who that avatar was, if you will. And they've been able to help us more and more so organically get those types of folks to be picking up the phone, calling in. They're already, based on marketing, they're already more pre-sold on us being the right place, on the type of dentistry that they think they need, that like I'm the one that can do that for them. So it makes everything from start to finish that much easier just by attracting the right person. They're the right fit for us, and we're the right fit for them.
So well said. And trying to calculate ROI, is a common question, and it's nice to have markers so you can literally look at it and be like, all right, this was worth it. Now, as you and I both know, there's 1,000 things that they do that I'll never be able to quite put that dollar amount on, but it's generating internal referrals and in cases and things like that. But it's always nice as business owners to be able to say, this is what we invested. This is the calls that created. These are the people that scheduled. This is the treatment that was scheduled. And you're like, oh, this makes sense, right? Just being responsible. So, um,
Absolutely.
and and along those same lines, doctors are always asking, right? How do you maximize the investment? What do you feel like has helped you get the most from MDA? I know Patient Capture Now for us has been amazing as far as more immediate patient engagement because it's busy on the phones, things like that. But what do you feel like for you has been something that's really been a great leverage point?
I think like having the regular calls with them and doing the stuff that they tell you to do. I mean, it's not rocket science if you just do the work. They are really good at laying it out. They're really good at prompting me with what are you seeing? Like boots on the ground, what's happening in your practice? And all I have to do is just think and say, well, I don't know, I would like to do some more of this type of procedure. We're getting more interest in this stuff, but I don't really want to do that or whatever it is. And just having an honest conversation with them, telling them what I'm seeing, what I want to do. And they're great at figuring out what can we do from there to actually have those things happen. Patient Capture Now has been really, really beneficial. I think it's been important to have a designated person who runs that aspect of the front desk team, just to keep it consistent. I think that came probably as a suggestion from MDA of just train everybody, but have one person be the person that owns that role and they run with it. And it's work for her for sure. But once she's figured out how to do it, it's been really, really beneficial. And they've created a similar flow for us with a implant campaign, implant survey type of thing. And that's been great because I've really enjoyed the surgical side of the practice, and that gives us another funnel specifically for those procedures, and just matches in really well with everything else that they're doing for us.
That's awesome to hear. You're right. Having the one team member, that's what it has to come down to. Everybody can do it, but one person owns it. That's very well said. And the implant funnel, wow, when they came out with that, that's just been like, gasoline on a fire because you're getting these pre-qualified patients, and it's just a great system that they have that way. And the thing we think about in traditional dental marketing, right, is about new patients, right? And we're always trying to calculate that ROI and everything else. And we talked about that, but I think there's something bigger about what they do, and the strategy of MDA supporting new dentistry like implants and things like that. But what do you feel like has been this, I almost want to say undersold value of MDA? Like what do you feel like has really been something that's like, oh, I didn't expect this benefit, but bam, here we are.
Coming from nothing, like zero patients when we open, I didn't inherit anything. We've never not hit our new patient goals, like from day one. I mean, literally, like day one, I had a full schedule of new patients, which is awesome. How many people can do that? And then, we talked about like, I didn't start with them, so that just came from mailers and a lot of heavy lifting on the month or two before we actually opened up. So they weren't great quality full schedule. But as that transition switched into them and watching that organic shift, it takes time with digital marketing, any marketing, but especially digital. After, I mean, it was probably only a couple months or so, to see the people were calling in because they were reading things online just on our website, whereas before nobody went to the website. Everything's funneled people through the website, so now we can put anything to advertise me or my team or the work we're doing, or just our different approach to the new patient aspect, to we've really drawn folks who with extreme dental anxiety and fears and that kind. So it seems to speak wonders to those folks to be able to go from wherever they found us on the web to the website, see all that, see videos, like this at MD8. I didn't know that was a thing to have them do videos where they can see me, they can hear me talking, see I'm not just some, face like plastered on a billboard somewhere, but a real person. I guess I didn't really think about how all of it comes together, and we talk about the different funnels and flows through marketing, whatever, all those words, but it actually, it all compounds and it all fits together very seamlessly. And people will come in all the time and say, "Oh, I didn't know this about you," or "You guys are doing that," and how do you know that? I mean, I guess it's out there in some little aspect, but they really, they move the right people through the right areas, um, all on the digital side of it through the website and Facebook and the specific targeted ads that each person gets to have pop up on their phone.
Well, it's awesome to hear your perspective, hear your story, and I'm glad we're putting it out there to the world because I know it's going to inspire other doctors, other teams to do the same thing. And it's really really cool. And I say this as a friend and then as a peer watching you. Like I'm super impressed. I'm super proud of you. Like so cool to see your journey, and you're so smart to invest in yourself and your practice the way you do. So thanks for sharing anything. Anything else you want to add to inspire people to do the same?
Yeah, I think the average startup is probably told to do all these different things. I feel like I didn't listen to hardly any of that. And marketing has been a huge one of those. And I think really like just that side of it, it would have taken us probably 5 to 10 years to get to where we did revenue wise in the first 2 to 3 years. It's not just about the money, but the money lets you have the lifestyle you want, and only working, I work 4 days a week, being home for dinner with the kids and taking lots of time off for vacation. And it lets you have all that. So I'm really happy that I did it. I would have done it from day one if I could rewind 3 years, but month two is still pretty good.
Pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Awesome stuff, Doc. Thank you so much. Keep crushing it. All right. Let's get back together again soon so you can tell me more success stories.
Sounds good.
We'll see you soon.